Hello, welcome to Canvas, the Niger-Delta Roundtable, where I discuss the future of this region blessed with hydrocarbon resources. Every week, we give some time to reflecting on topics that are relevant to the development of the Niger Delta and her people. This episode is not different. I'm here, and once again, we are focusing on how to take this region to a more promising future. This podcast is sponsored by the operator of the NNPC Renaissance to Tool AENR joint venture, Renaissance Africa Energy Company Limited, headquartered in Port Harcourt. Thank you for joining. I'm Adedayo Elushakin. A topic for this episode is more than one thing. Today, or this period, as we mark International Youth Day 2026, we're reflecting on the theme of different contexts, common aspirations. Now, young people may come from different backgrounds, face different challenges, and follow different paths, but they often share the same aspirations to learn, create, contribute, succeed, and make a meaningful impact. This generation is increasingly refusing to be defined by a single label. They are embracing diverse talents, exploring multiple passions, and charting unique paths to success. And this conversation is about possibilities, it's about purpose, and the courage to become all that you can be. Because while our context may be different, our aspirations are often beautifully the same. Again, on Canvas for this episode, we are discussing more than one thing. And my guest is Fidelia Harry. Fidelia Harry is a PhD student in human physiology, a creative entrepreneur, and music enthusiast whose journey reflects the power of embracing multiple passions. Though initially torn between the arts and sciences, she chose a path in science while continuing to nurture her creative side through music. Now, beyond academia, Fidelia is actively involved in the creative and entrepreneurial space, combining innovation with purpose. She's currently organizing, or for the sake of this recording, has organized a concert and launched as well Tiketra. I hope I got that right. A ticketing platform designed to simplify event access and management. She's passionate about growth, creativity, and impact. Fidelia represents a generation of young people proving that excellence does not have to be confined to a single path. Fidelia Harry, hi, welcome to Canvas, the Niger-Delta Roundtable.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So when I prepared the script, your concert, your show had not happened. That's why I said you were organizing. For the sake of whoever is watching or listening to this right now, we're recording this episode very late because Fidelia had she had an event, had a show today, and quite admirably rushed down here after the show to come record this episode. So congratulations and thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So let's start with that, by the way. What was the show about today, and how did it go?
Okay. So the show was The Unveiling. So unveiling myself, Fidelia Harry, as a performing and recording artist and as the founder of a new brand, Tiketra.
Okay, so let's start with the artist part of things.
Okay.
How's that going? I mean, your science person, you're currently running your PhD in human physiology. That means you must have done something sciencey
Yes.
before that.
Yes.
Another sciencey thing even before that also.
Yes.
So all of this sciencey stuff, and then you start singing.
Okay. So while growing up, I've always sang. Been a singer, sang in church, sang in school. And as you mentioned earlier, you know that part in SS1 where you get to pick to do arts or science?
The defining moment.
Yeah. So for me, I was good at both. Check the results. In fact, there was a point my literature teacher wanted to tweak our timetable a little bit so I could include literature in my WAEC, but it didn't just work out. He was sad and I was sad. So yes, a strong both ends, and I had to pick. So I did a thing.
You tossed a coin.
I gave myself the opportunity to, be have a part in both arts and science. So I knew naturally I could sing, I could talk, artsy thing came naturally. And then the science, academically, I was also good at that. So I'm like, why toss one for the other? Let's go science academically and the arts, where you don't need a certificate to get through with that.
Mm.
So here I am.
All right. So, and years afterwards, you so the unveiling once again for the music side of things. What exactly were you unveiling? Is there an album?
Okay.
Is there a mixtape?
Okay. So I dropped a single today, an original.
Mm,
Yes, that I performed. After performing, that's when I told them it was mine, and they were very excited, of course.
of course.
So, but the rest were already known songs, already existing songs.
Covers.
Yes, yeah, covers, but singing and expressing myself
Mm,
through their music.
okay.
I've been singing professionally, getting paid for it. But tonight I chose to embrace the part and actually tell the world that okay, I'm not doing this on the side anymore. I'm going through with this.
This is it. This is it full time.
Yes.
So
Well,
so how about all the
uh,
sciencey stuff?
I, okay, so for that part, I'm going on that part to be a lecturer.
Ah,
Yes.
okay.
So I can lecture, I can sing.
Okay. In between marking scripts, because I hear it's a lot of work, marking scripts and stuff like that,
So I have a passion for teaching.
and marking scripts.
Uh, well, I have marked scripts, so I can tell you I have some sort of experience doing that.
Mm.
Yes. The main part is actually the theory part of it where you have to mark. And I think if you know your onions, you just go and go and go. You dedicate a certain time to it, put in the work. You put in the work everywhere. Somehow everything will fit in.
Okay, so sciencey stuff is fitting in. We got the music on lockdown as well,
And
and
then we
then
have
there's this
Ticketra.
Teketra thing.
Yes.
What's that about?
Okay, it's an online ticketing platform. So for events, corporate, not corporate, you're having an event and you need a ticketing platform to purchase and even physical access for the event to manage your event purchase. So on the website, you get to know how many persons bought, you get sent your money immediately, and then you have a record, average, a data analysis, more like it.
Mm.
So you can see the overall performance of your event.
So that was unveiled today as well.
Yes.
When are you going to unveil your space program?
Space.
So how did it all go today? So events over, you performed, you unveiled yourself, your music, your business, the ticketing business. How did it all go?
It was successful. It was beautiful. Wonderful. I'm excited about it. Went as planned.
Oh, not many things in life too, so that's good. You're lucky.
Thank you. My team and I put in so much work. And the band, everybody put in so much work, and I'm grateful for them.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
International Youth Day. What does it mean these days to be a youth? I mean, there's so much. The world has changed in remarkable ways. At the danger of sounding old, which I am not, but I'm thankful that I've seen remarkable changes. I'm talking generational kind changes. I mean, I was very conscious when we did not have the internet. I was very conscious when we did not have mobile telephony, at least not at the rate at which we have it now, when we didn't have the GSM. I was very conscious, with a lot of things. And even the things that we did have, I have witnessed them evolve in remarkable ways. I remember when if you had a Pentium 4 computer, it was like, oh, that was the bomb diggity. And even that expression bomb diggity is pretty old as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so but now I was talking with Sals, one of the guys here just a while ago before you arrived, and was telling me what the base spec for a computer, a good computer, is right now. And it's mind blowing, So, and with these evolutions and these changes, because we interact with them as humans, our lives also are defined by all the things that happen around us. So, what does it mean to be a young person these days, to be a youth these days? If that question makes any sense.
If I must say, it means okay, let me not say it means there's a lot of pressure with being a youth today.
Mm.
Like you said, a lot of things have changed positively and negatively. And I believe that today's youths, like I said, there's so much pressure on us to get certain things done. I think we grew up to be adults too fast.
Mm.
Yeah, because life threw certain things at us, speaking for my generation, of course. And we were forced to embrace it and live with it. And I think we're pushing ourselves to do so much more than what the generations did before us. There's a certain standard
Man, what do you mean?
to.
Hold on. I used to walk to the post office to post letters. You guys just do what I do as well, and then it's gone.
To the
So so
post
so what are you so
office.
what are you doing that's more than what was done
Walk
before?
to the post office. So, in your time, did you have to?
What do you mean my time?
In, in your time, I'm sure you didn't have to pick career paths. You didn't have to run three businesses or three platforms at the same time. I believe so.
No, I didn't. No.
Okay. And that's the pressure I'm talking about. For the standard for success for us is different. Then like we would say, when you come out of school, you could use your WAEC to do this, you could use your WAEC to do that. Now, your first degree is like your WAEC. Everybody has it. Everybody has it. So if you want to actually do something with your certificate, you have to
Yeah, everybody
get your
has it because people. From what I hear, you can even buy it these days.
no. I disagree. I just feel it's a standard, an increased standard, yeah. And I must say population as well. I think that added to it.
You were young once.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're still young.
Still young.
What aspirations and dreams, what ambitions, did you have, and especially the ones that shaped your mindset, that shaped the person that you have become and are becoming?
Okay. So when I was younger, first off, I wanted to be Miss World.
Of course.
So then I would write my name and then write in brackets Miss World. So it's Fidelia Harry, brackets Miss World. And I also was inspired by Ben Casson. So I also wanted to be a surgeon.
Mm.
So yes, it shaped me. I knew I wanted the spotlight and I knew I wanted to impact lives. So these are the ambitions, the dreams I had then. And if you ask me, I think I'm living up to them. Because, like you said, they shaped me and I'm finding my path in life to fulfill the same dreams that I had.
When you do realize that you didn't have to fit into a single box, because it's remarkable your descriptive, your how you describe it. You wanted to be in the spotlight, and then you wanted to impact lives. Now, usually they don't go very much hand in hand. Either you have to go for one or the other, because when you're impacting lives, it's not one that puts a spotlight on you. Usually behind the scenes in the shadows, when you're impacting people's lives, if you're in the spotlight, synonymous with being famous just for being famous, so to speak. Doesn't mean that you may not have some talent, but it doesn't have a lot to do with the impacting people's lives. So it seems like two different worlds coming together, not being in a single box. As I was, so at what moment did you realize, I don't want to be defined by just one sin. I want to be multiple sins, even if it can be contained in one box?
I think that was after my first degree. So I've always had the mindset, I grew up with the mindset that you have to do one thing at a time. So I paused everything else that I had interest in and I focused on school because I had to pick one and I chose school. But after the university, life does this thing. The other things that you've buried somehow just spring forth and show themselves, and you begin to see more of your potential. And with the encouragement of the people around you, you embrace it and find your way around it and see that you can actually do more than one thing at a time.
Does it take a special ability to do that? Because you were saying you believe in doing one thing
At a time.
at a time. Is it better to just then stick to that one thing, or as in your case, end up doing multiple things? Because that's what you want to do invariably. You want to do multiple things at one time, at the same time. Am I right?
Yeah.
Isn't that antithetical to your original belief of doing one thing at a time?
People grow, people evolve. I wish I had started earlier with doing 3 things or 4 things at a time. Yeah. I wish I had started earlier. But it's never too late. There's this picture, yeah, it's a picture. I read it somewhere. It says you should try. And then there are 2 arrows. So if you try, it's either you succeed or you learn a lesson. And if you don't try, you'd go on forever asking yourself, what would have happened if you tried? So when life to leave, I don't say you only live once. I say you only die once. Because we're living every day. So live to the fullest of your potential. If you can't do it, give it a shot. Try it. That's why you're here, to live. So yeah, do one thing, more than one thing at a time.
You have interest in fields that can be described as coming from very different worlds or exist in different worlds. Is there an intersection? Is there a meeting point for all of them? Do they influence? Do you do your different worlds influence each other in some way or another?
Okay. So today, today wasn't just an unveiling of myself as a singer. I did storytelling. Before singing any song, you talk about it, you talk how it relates to you, how you want them to understand it.
Mm.
And I believe that comes from the part where I want to lecture, the sciencey part. Because that's the part that I realized I do very well with presentations.
Mm.
Very, very
Oh,
well.
you do a good PowerPoint also?
Oh yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's an art. PowerPoint. Yeah, putting it together and all of that.
But of course you have to do proper research to be able to.
No, not just about the content. You can have content, but having a good PowerPoint itself. I mean, designing and putting together PowerPoint, and that's a lot of work for me, anyway.
And like I said, I want to lecture.
Yeah.
So speaking is a thing for me. And I have interest in the sciences. It's something that I like to discuss about the body, metabolism, to be very specific. I like to know how the body really works. And it's what I'm working on for my thesis as well. So knowing stuff that interests me, speaking about it. And then the speaking part intercepts in music. To be a good performer, you have to know when to impute storytelling in your performance.
Mm.
Gives you an edge and relates music better to your audience. So I think that's where it meets.
And selling tickets.
Crazy, crazy. so so that was an idea born by being in the entertainment industry.
Mm.
Yes, I've gone for events, I've seen how the access is handled. I saw an opportunity to put myself. So online ticketing is now forward thinking, something, it's a space that's growing. And I'm like, okay, we're in the entertainment industry, we're here already. Why don't we just, you know, be part of it even more?
A couple of such outfits exist already, and for a lot of young people, or at least some young persons, they're looking for the next their own unicorn,
Mm,
that big thing that's going to get them funding from angel investors, and they can raise $10 million, $100 million, heck, $1 billion even. Um, and they're thinking, oh, this idea is good. That nah, I need to find something different. I need to find something unique. I need to find, like I said, a unicorn. This is not necessarily that, because while there are challenges with access to events, no doubt about that, we already have e-ticketing platforms existing. Did you consider that? What did you consider that a challenge for you before venturing into it? Because it exists already. So what's one more player going to do?
that's the thing. I already have an advantage given the fact that I am already in the industry. So that's my advantage. We have a lot of banks, and yet, well, Ope is not really a bank, but look at Ope.
Mm.
So I believe it's really your strategy. It's a strategy that matters. What's there to make an extra box and when you see an opportunity to make some? So that's what I'm here for. I'm already in the industry, have a couple of contacts. Why don't we play in the field? There's nothing to lose.
You talked about pressure on young people these days. When I asked what do you think it means to be a youth these days,
Mm.
um, do you think that young people are being pressured unduly into choosing a path now? And here's what I mean. Uh, I was about to say back in the day, some time ago, some time ago, it was expected that you would go to school, you know, you had to be a science student. For example, my dad was very, God bless him, still alive in Lagos. Uh, my dad was disappointed that I didn't go into the science class,
Mm.
that I didn't do the sciences from SS1 that moment, because if you didn't go into science class, you were considered not intelligent. My dad felt I was intelligent enough to be in sciences. So he felt, I disappointed him somewhat. And then you would go to school, but what are you doing science or not? Get a degree, or eventually go to university, get a degree, get a job, be a banker or a doctor or an engineer. I think that was it. Anything else did not matter. Completely inconsequential.
True.
You were a failure in life. In fact, if you did not fit into any of those things,
Mm.
w- i- what are the pressures now? I mean, there are different things. I mean, yes, someone say I'm a content creator.
Ah,
I mean,
it's the laughing for me. Please, we take that seriously over here. We take that very, very seriously.
I know. It's a thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a
It's
thing.
thriving thing, if you ask me.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So are there pressures on young people these days? And what are the pressures different from what I described now? Are they pressured into going a particular line, going a particular path, going a certain way?
So yes, there was that pressure. Even while I'm still growing. While I was younger, yeah, there was still that because forgive me, but your mates are now fathers, yeah, and they are passing on the same idea to their kids. Of course, I heard of the.
Wait, hold on.
I apologize. I apologize.
Okay. Yeah. I want to let that one slide.
So they are passing on the same idea: lawyer, doctor, engineer. And there is still that belief that if you're not doing any of this, you're not smart enough. So there's that pressure already. And even for those who have gone ahead to do the engineering, we have engineers working in the bank now. I think it's very common. In fact, banking is now the sector for engineers. That field is, if you did banking and finance, I'm so sorry, just gonna be a content creator because that field is now for engineers. So there is that pressure. And then when you're done with, even after following the path, you can now see that everywhere is really filled up. Not a lot of job opportunities for the so promised engineering that they told you to go and study. And then you're out and they're like, this one studied engineering. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Things are not going as planned or as promised because we were promised an expected end. So there is pressure because you've been told to do this and you get this result, and now you've done it and there's no result. So you begin to find where else you can, you know, create something new for yourself. And then most of the time, one is not enough. The economy is a big factor. One is not enough to sustain you. So there you go, having to find something else to do. Look at you now. You've been doing this thing and you've not seen the need to do something else. But in our time, you see, this one is doing hair, makeup, lashes. Everybody, I feel like it's a threes thing now.
Mm.
You have to be doing three things at the same time.
Alright.
Yeah. To be taken as serious, to be seen as successful, and to meet up. Yeah.
Okay. I remember. Hi guys. No offense to anyone. This converse in Niger-Delta Roundtable, brought to you by Nathan Sam that more than one thing is what we're discussing in this episode in commemoration of International Youth Day. And when I was thinking about the theme for this year and what the conversation is going to be about, when I learned about my guest on this episode, Fidelia Harry, I was certain she was just perfect for it. And so far, I've not been disappointed.
Glad.
We go for a break. We'll return shortly. The conversation will continue. Please stay with us.
In the heart of our journey, where the sun touches the earth and the wind whispers through the trees, a new chapter unfolds. A chapter where energy illuminates more than just bulbs. It lights up minds. A chapter of unity, a coming together with a common goal to energize futures and illuminating lives. In classrooms, young dreams evolve, inspired by the promise of a brighter tomorrow fueled by available energy. Small businesses flourish, becoming seeds of prosperity. Energy that empowers and is catalyst for growth and change. The future is energy. So, let's light up the path to a sustainable future together. Energy for you, me, and the world at large. Energy for people and planet. We are Renaissance.
Hello, welcome back to the Converse Niger-Delta Roundtable, brought to you by Nathan's. I'm Dyer. More than one thing is still the topic of our conversation on this episode. My guest, Fidelia Harry, is still here. Not sure exactly how to describe her. She's so many things are wrapped up in one. Fidelia, welcome again.
Thank you again.
Great. What opportunities do you think young people have these days that older generations did not have, and possibly puts them in a better stead?
Mm, the internet and what the internet can do for you. Social media, I should be specific. Social media is an advantage for the young people.
Really?
Yes.
Are you on social media at all?
Of course.
All,
Oh,
all, all
really?
of that stuff on social media is a good thing.
So everything has an advantage and a disadvantage.
Mm.
Yeah. But I'm saying with the presence of social media and how easily you can just put out something and you get visibility and growth, really, it's an advantage for us. It is, whether we like it or not.
Okay, social media. Anything else?
Um,
Content creation.
that's social media. That's social media. Um, the the improvement of technology,
Mm.
that's an advantage for us as well. It's a big advantage. A lot of milestones have been achieved because of that, and of course, young people have been part of it, especially tech. It's a whole new niche for us. It wasn't like that before now, but then it's booming. Everybody's doing back end, front end, and all of those
Yeah.
tech stuff. Yeah.
And then there's the whole AI thing going on these days.
Yeah. So it's incredible, if I must say. It's incredible and creates a lot of opportunities for young people. It's not like you older guys cannot learn it all.
Can you stop with that?
I'm sorry. It's not like the older generation cannot learn it. But I think it's an advantage for us. We're growing into the space. So, yeah.
In spite of all of these opportunities, are there unique challenges as well? So, I mean, the opportunities are great, but does it also present a unique challenge to young people these days? And what might those be?
Okay. Now, in tech, it's promising, it's lucrative. I don't know if this is okay to say, but as a Nigerian youth, first, there is the challenge of your setup. To thrive in such spaces, you have to have good network and, of course, steady power supply. So that is a challenge for the youths to progress in these opportunities that have been made available for us. And then, if you're talking about the disadvantages of this opportunity, I will now go to social media. Yeah. So there's also a downside with the opportunity that comes with social media because of, you would agree with me with about certain things that seem to trend. Of
Mm.
course, there are people who are doing pretty much good stuff that don't get good visibility as much as those who, let me know, should I support you? Those who do content creation. So yes, that's the advantage. Sorry, that's the disadvantage of it. So I think a lot of negative, I don't say negative, but there are a lot of things that are being promoted on social media that ideally is not to the advantage of the growth of youths.
Mm.
As a growing child, as a youth growing, you see certain things that are trending and you most likely want to turn to them. Some of them are not morally good, but because it's what's, pushing the views and likes, you end up doing that. So I think there's a moral decline when it comes to social media and the part that thrives.
How important is confidence in unlocking potential? I mean, these days, when you hear young persons being described these days, the word confidence comes up. They exude a certain level of confidence that possibly wasn't seen before. Doesn't mean older generations didn't were not confident, but I mean, I think we're talking margins in terms of numbers, so to speak. Um, how critical do you think that is, confidence in unlocking potential?
Very, very critical. In this generation, there's absolutely nothing you can do without confidence. You have to believe in yourself before anybody else believes in you. You have to be confident enough that you can do something, even when you're not very certain that you can. But it's the confidence that helps with your delivery of whatever you want to do. That aura. We call it aura. Yeah. Yeah.
Aura farming. But really, has there ever been a time when confidence wasn't necessary? And why do you suppose confidence is more important now than at any other time?
Okay, confidence has always played a role in whatever, even before now.
Mm.
But now it is more critical because of exposure. There's so much exposure now. So you could be doing something and not have a lot of people seeing you, but because of social media, if you're going on live, you have to muster courage because you
Because of dragging.
there are a lot of people that are going to see this.
Mm.
So if you did not like eat some liver or something, you cannot pull through with it.
And some people are there with their popcorn,
Watching you,
just waiting.
judging you, doing that, pulling this concert off is took a lot of confidence as well. You just have to put yourself out there. And you can't do that knowing the number of persons that we see. You're thinking of virality. This thing goes viral now, and then you now hear the statements. The internet never forgets.
Mhm.
You have to.
Speaking of which, why does a lot of people, especially young people, think that everything has to go on the internet for crying out loud? Why? I don't know. You woke up and your rice has gone bad, and then someone goes online and said, "I woke up this morning and my rice has gone bad." Does everything have to be on online?
It's the times we're living in now. Everything is content. Everything is content for views, for likes, because people are doing it. Yeah. And sometimes they just try and then let me say it like this, they blow.
Or they are
They
dragged?
become they become famous, not popular, they become famous. And I think a lot of us are chasing fame. Because once you're famous in Nigeria, whether for like I said, fame, there's a difference, Fame is people knowing you, whether they hate you or like you. And then there's popular where everybody loves you.
Hmm.
So once you have fame in Nigeria, you have one part that's dragging you, have one part that's supporting you. It opened doors for you.
So it's just about the thing.
Yes, it's about the fame.
So
It's
you can
about
so you
visibility.
can be. This is targeted at no one. You could be confidently stupid, but as long as you have fame, and that's fine.
Yes, I don't want to state examples, but yes.
Now, this just came to mind now. I mean it. I didn't think I was going to mention this. I wasn't even thinking about it, but when the subject matter, I think. Some phrase that have been popularized lately, we don't have to mention individuals. Olodorizing.
Yeah.
That's the phrase, right? Okay, great. So, is that what you're describing somewhat? So just famous.
Yes, exactly that.
Is that a good thing?
It's not. It is not. But like my grandma would say, let me say how she says this. Now the Momo people plenty pass. So if you're doing something that is relatable to people, and it's the silly thing that a majority of these viewers relate with,
Mm.
that's it. You've gotten your fame. You've gotten you're there in the space. So whatever you do, as long as there's a majority of people who are interested in this, you get the results. You get results for it.
What inspires you to want to build something? I mean, build something new, like a business. I mean, the whole sciencey stuff is like the regular path, and you're even a bit more regular, and I say that in a good way because you want to lecture. That's a path as old as time.
Mm.
And then you have the singing thing going as well, which is pretty much, yeah, right there as well as one of the things that we're even accustomed to now, ever since the days of some of the more popular musicians amongst us. But to start a business is a whole new kettle of fish entirely. At whatever generation, whatever time, I think it's a big deal. Uh, to borrow your expression or a term we've just used, confidence, to want to not just say, hi guys, press the like button, but to actually start a business. What inspired you to want to do that? I tell people, I say, I think I can do a lot of things, but start a business is not something I think I'm cut out for. So I have immense respect for anyone who's able to do that. Why did you think to do that?
Like I said, I saw an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, you can see opportunity and say,
I'm a very goal driven person.
aha.
So if I decide to do something, or if I have a thought of doing something, I told you about the time in my life where I was focused on one thing.
Mm.
And then it got to a point and I told myself I was going to leave. I am leaving and leaving and leaving. So I'm feeding into my ideas. I'm looking to be everything that I can be. So from that, I draw strength and inspiration. And if I see something and I know that this is something I would like to do, and know that after now, it will be said that I did it. I, c- I founded this. It's the pleasure that comes with it. It's not much of an inspiration if you ask me, but it's what drives me.
Are you scared the business could fail?
No, not scared that it could fail. I still working. Like I said, you have strategy in place. I didn't just go into it blindly. I started thinking about this way back. And, this event is a strategy for it. Most people start this and, just do the social media pushings and all. So I created my first event for the brand. So it's strategy. Not scared that it will fail. I don't think that it will fail because I think I'm putting in the work and I have a plan.
You've probably heard the expression or something related to that concerns stepping out of your comfort zone.
Mm.
You know, if you want to be extraordinary, you have to do that. If you remain in your comfort zone, yeah, you might do good, but you're just going to be, yeah. But if you want to be, stand out, you have to step out of your comfort zone. So, which of these three things you're involved in at the moment would best describe or align with the expression stepping out of your comfort zone? Because so far it appears that you're comfortable with all three. So is there something else, or one of them already fits, or more fits the bill already?
Tiketra. I've
Ah,
never seen myself as an entrepreneur. Back in school, in fact, I tell people I'm not cut out for it. Okay? I'm good at it, but I do not like the risk that comes with it. I'm one who evaluates, checks, and if the risk is too much, I do not try at all. So that's, should I say, who I used to be. But I stepped out of my comfort zone. I'm an entrepreneur now. It's not something I ever planned to do, but I found myself doing. So yes, Tiketra is the one for me that steps me out of my comfort zone because it's reaching out to people, it's making good connections for your business, it's driving your business. Business is baby stage. It's like training a child. So there's a lot to put in, and I'm not one
how
who
many children have you trained?
I could answer that question, but I wouldn't. Yeah, but it's like training a child. I've watched my younger sister grow, and it's sort of like that. But this one, I'm going to put in a whole lot more effort.
I mean, I don't mean to be, I don't mean to rain on your parade or anything. Yeah. However, people have tried their hands at business and have failed at it. While of course there are others who have succeeded
Succeeded.
immensely. You know, and yeah, just like you, there are a lot of other young persons that are scared about venturing out and taking that step and starting up something. What does the person need to be certain that, yeah, I'm there, I'm ready, I should step out? How do you know? What's the process, if there is a process?
So first off, I would like to say there is no 100% certainty in anything that you're doing. It's a risk. Life itself is a risk. Any decision you take, there's no 100% certainty. So if you want to do business, I got an advice from a friend of mine who's a marketing strategist. So he'll always tell you to create the market for demand before you start whatever it is that you want to start as a business. So that's why I realized that I could actually do this because I'm in the industry and I think I've created market for myself.
Mm.
So there was a bit of a soft landing and assurance knowing that this will work. I'm not saying this is the blueprint for everyone, but I was giving this advice and so far, so good. I think it's working out just fine.
Lots of people go through life and they're wondering, for those who are lucky, get to a point where they're thinking, what's my purpose? I'd like to think or imagine from our conversation so far that you found some purpose. How does some other young person who's watching or listening to this, who is still in between and not certain, how do they find purpose?
Look back to who you were as a child. The things that come to you naturally, the things that you enjoy. I think that's where you'd find your purpose in the things that you love to do. That's where your purpose lies. Just remember, go back, remember what it was then, and find what that translates to today in real time. Start there. There's no route to finding your purpose. You have to just look within yourself and direct yourself.
Speaking of starting, you've started for a while now, and you took another big leap today with the unveiling. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
By the way, it's going to be stuff online for folks to see, right?
Of course.
Okay. Okay. So I don't forget. For anyone who'd like to see what happened today, how can they do that?
Okay. They can check on my personal page, Fidelia Harry, or the Ticketer page. So we push this event mostly on the Ticketer platforms to give it sort of publicity. So most of the content from even before like planning stage, everything is on ticketra.ng. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, same. But of course, if you want to find it somewhere else, you can do that. Delia Harry on Instagram and TikTok, Fidelia Harry on Facebook.
Mm. So what's next for Fidelia Harry? You had your unveiling today. You've put your music out there, a single, right?
Yes.
And you're still doing the sciencey thing that's
Yeah.
going on. Takatra is there right now. What's next? Because you mentioned strategy a while ago, right? You said today's event was part of the strategy, right? So what's the next item on this strategy list?
Oh, follow through it. Like I made an announcement today about the Ticketer platform that I'm going to from now till December, free. You can use the website for absolutely nothing, just to still push publicity. And okay, what's next? We're running. We're whatever is next on our list. We just go back, look at our list. This is the next step to take, and we take it for the three parts. Because after next week, I have seminar presentations and a thesis presentation. So I feel for me, that's like the next thing I'm going to focus on.
Okay, so you have dropped a hit single today.
Oh no, publicity will continue for that. And I'm hoping, of course, with what I've put out today,
Yeah.
I'm going to get more gigs. I get gigs, but I'm going to get more because it's exposure.
But for now, you're still upcoming.
I would say that, really.
Oh, wait, what else would you? It sounded like there's something else that you would say. Okay, so but you haven't blown. That's the point.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
exactly
When
that.
when will you blow?
Very soon. Once these videos are out, I'm gone.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So you got any other works you're gonna put out soon? When's the second single dropping? And when's the album?
Okay. So I cannot tell you for a fact that the album is going to drop at a certain time.
Okay.
But I can tell you that more singles will be released, and by next year unveiling, we're going to do more originals.
Okay, so what is your genre? How would you describe your music?
So
Uh,
R&B, old school, and a little bit of swing jazz. That's what I enjoy. So that's what I put out.
oh, this content creators would enjoy the music.
That's this.
I'm sorry.
Content
I
creators.
got to say, I was gonna say Afro fusion pop hip hop.
Do I look Afro fusion pop hip hop?
No, no, you don't.
No.
But that would have been maybe a smash hit. I'm just saying. I mean, this whatever you're doing, I'm sure is a smash hit still.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right, great. I think this might be a good point to anchor this. It's been an interesting conversation for me personally, and I imagine for um most of the people who are going to listen to or watch this, because you're not in this for the fame. You're going to be popular. And I'm using those expressions in the context that we used them earlier on, if you remember.
Mhm.
It's been about International Youth Day and the challenges and the brilliance that is the young person in our time. And that's why we captioned this episode More Than One Sin, because you literally can be more than one sin. And my guest has typified that in more ways than one. Fidelia Harry, it's been a pleasure having this conversation with you. And thank you so much for the brilliance that you exude and for the time you've offered to be here today.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Any final words?
Stay jiggy. You can do more than one thing.
Wait, that's a new expression, stay jiggy. Thank you very much for watching. Canvas and Niger-Delta Round to be brought to you by Nasons. I'm Dio, and bye for now.